We're going to take a little step into another world. This was one of my favorite series that appeared on the Disney Plus. A little bit of WandaVision. Let's look at the costumes that are actually worn by the actors from the series. All right, here is the White Vision. Again, take a look at all of the EVA work. I would love to know where they got that fabric, because that fabric is incredible. That's really, really neat. And then we come into the costume that was worn for our Scarlet Witch. Again, take a look at all the EVA work and how intricate it is. I also love the fabric that was used for the cape. That is incredible. So yeah, guys, those were the original costumes worn by Paul and Elizabeth during the filming of WandaVision. They are so cool. So in the 1970s, Marvel came out with all these like supernatural kind of freaky characters. And what's really cool, we're gonna get to see them coming up very, very soon on the big screen and our little screens at home. So we're talking people like Moon Knight, we're talking like people like our favorite vampire, Morbius. All these guys are coming out very soon. So, you know, if you ever are going along and you find a Werewolf by Night, number 33, pick that thing up. You know, we're also talking, you know, if you find Spider-Man 101, that's the first appearance of Morbius. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. I had all these comic books when I was a kid, and like most people, I'm not thinking ahead. I don't even know where they're at. Mom probably threw them away, you know. All right, guys, it's time to enter one of my favorite areas right now. Time to become a mutant. X-Men. We got to get going. So a lot of people don't remember that the original X-Men were put together to fight Magneto, and they were a bunch of kids. I think the oldest one was Warren, and he was already the avenging angel for the longest time. The rest of the guys, this was their first time ever becoming a superhero team. And I got to tell you, Iceman was more like Snowball. If you don't know who this is the New Mutants. I recommend going and catching the movie. It was incredible, and it was very kind of spooky, and it included that giant bear and everybody else with their powers. So guys, if you haven't checked out the New Mutants movie, go catch that one. It's really good. All right, for any true fan of Wolverine, you got to tell me, what is the first comic that he ever appeared in? Give you a few seconds to think about it. The first comic that Wolverine appeared in wasn't even a Wolverine comic. It was Hulk 181. You can get your hands on one of those. Oh, make sure you keep it. Marvel came out with a whole set of superheroes that basically were just common people on the streets. They lived in and around through New York in different areas like Hell's Kitchen, the Bronx, and that kind of stuff. And they became some of the most iconic 70s superheroes that we ever seen. So we had people like Luke Cage, we had people like Danny, who was Power Fist, we had Misty Knight, and then we also had Colleen Wing, and these people would join together and become both the Heroes for Hire. Oh, I've also forgot Jessica Jones. So they were Heroes for Hire, and they were also the Defenders. Now, Netflix did an okay with some of their series. I'm really interested to see what's going to be happening with some of the new stuff that's going to be coming out now that Disney picked it up. It should be interesting. And again, like with some of the other costumes, we actually have the costume that was worn by Charlie Cox in the Daredevil series and also in the Defenders series. So again, we can kind of see the tactical gloves. EVA foam to make his arm bracers. I really want to know where they get this type of fabric, because I'm seeing that fabric used on a lot of the costumes. Again, shin guards into just kind of a normal pair of shoes. They also have his glasses and also the cane that they used in the series. So, very cool. Daredevil's one of your favorites. This is an awesome costume again. So here's going to be one of the newest series coming out. This is Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. She is actually one of our first Middle Eastern superheroes. And the only thing I don't like is they're actually going to be changing her powers and everything from what I've seen of the trailers. And I can understand doing that whole embiggen and shrinking her would be a really tough thing when it comes to special effects wise. But they're kind of taking a cop-out by throwing power gauntlets on her. So I'll still watch the series, I'll check it out because I want to see how it comes out. So one of the things, comic books have taken a little bit of a hit because sometimes they try to use younger characters, and people have always been afraid that maybe that's going to influence children to do weird things, strange things. But come on, they're comic books, guys. Most of us that read them, we were young when we started reading them, so they try to find people that the kids can relate to. So some of the ones that I've actually seen throughout the years, you know, back in the day, I actually read the Power Pack, and they were probably the youngest group of superheroes you could ever find. And we've seen series come out with Cloak and Dagger, who were also kids when they originally got their powers. We have the Runaways, who were actually kids again in high school when they got their powers. You have the whole new Warrior series. They're all younger people. So yeah, you know, sometimes they get a little in trouble, or people think, you're trying to influence kids. They're comic books, people. Come on, take it easy. So this is one that I am looking so forward to because they keep on building up for it in the whole series that we keep seeing on Disney Plus. So if you don't know who these guys are, they're going to be the Young Avengers, and looking forward to that series. Oh yeah, we got Blade the Vampire Hunter, Wesley Snipes doing it right. So a lot of people don't know, we're looking back all the way into the 70s again. And this is our original Blade. Could you imagine if Wesley Snipes was dressed in a red jacket and green pants? Christmas Blade? And this one I'm always kind of amazed at that it became such a big thing, because originally the Punisher was a bad guy, just sitting there and taking out people for the least kind of things, you know, like jaywalking. He just killed people, he'd punish them. So it's kind of interesting that a bad guy became an anti-hero. So it's kind of neat. But we're coming up on one of my favorites too. We got another one, guys. These are all my favorites. But we've got The Vengeance. That's right. We've got the Ghost Rider. Now, I'm really hoping in the Multiverse of Madness they introduce him, but please do it right this time, please. And talking about the multiverse, guys, I think we're actually heading into it. So we're getting into the world of Doctor Strange. Now, growing up, this was one of the characters I loved to read the comic books, but they were really, really weird, and for a lot of people, when you're a kid reading these books, they were a little confusing. But let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at some of the costumes and some of the things that are in the Doctor Strange universe. So as with a lot of the other costumes that we've been looking at, this is actually one that was worn by Tilda during the filming of Doctor Strange as her character, the Ancient One. So lots of beautiful fabric, nicely put together. And here's the actual costume that was worn by Benedict during Doctor Strange. Look at the quilting. That is some beautiful work, guys. Lots of fabric work. Lots of time making a costume.